evening, viewers. Welcome to the Diamond Newsdesk at 8. We bring you the latest stories featured on DiamondTVZambia.com. You can follow Diamond TV online on Facebook, and on X, it's Diamond TV Zambia. Up next, the headlines. Church urges government to bend further in Edgar Lungu burial dispute as Hichilema confers with South Africa's International Relations Minister. Livingston lecturer killed in hippopotamus attack near National Park. Also coming up, ballot paper delay sparks tension but verification completed in Lumezi. I'll be back shortly with the details.
This is Diamond Newsdesk at 8 with Tokozile Malau.
And now the news in detail. There are growing calls for the family of the late President Edgar Lungu to reconsider their decision to bury him outside Zambia. The Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, EFZ, has called for compromise and national unity in the ongoing standoff over the burial of the former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. EFZ Executive Director Bishop Andrew Mwenda has pleaded with the Lungu family to repatriate the late president's remains to Zambia, stressing that a father is not buried outside his village. Speaking on Diamond TV's Costa program, Bishop Mwenda also urged President Hichilema to stay away from the funeral if that was Lungu's wish. Meanwhile, former Vice President Dr. Nevas Mumba has appealed to the family to return the late president's remains to his homeland, the country of his birth and ancestry, and the nation that entrusted him with its highest office. President Lungu died on June 5, 2025 in South Africa.
Former President Edgar Lungu died on June 5, 2025 in South Africa, where he had gone to seek medical treatment. He died at the age of 68. As the government and his family were making burial arrangements with President Hakainde Hichilema declaring days of national mourning, the Lungu family held a press briefing revealing one of Mr. Lungu's final wishes, that President Hichilema should not attend his funeral. These announcements sparked mixed reactions across the country. The family's decision disrupted government plans to honor the late president and left many people wondering how things went wrong between Mr. Lungu and the current leadership. According to a leaked government program, Mr. Lungu's body was expected to arrive in Zambia on Wednesday, June 18th, and he was to be buried on Monday, June 23rd. Today, Sunday, June 22nd, was meant to be the day of the official state funeral. However, this did not happen. President Hichilema cancelled the extended mourning period after the Lungu family announced that the body would not be brought back and that Mr. Lungu would be buried in South Africa. It is unclear whether President Hichilema will attend the burial. Some people remain hopeful that the state and the Lungu family will reach an agreement to bring his body back for burial in Zambia.
My appeal, first, I know we are concluding. My appeal, Costa, is I am appealing to the family to know that President Lungu had an extended family, bigger family of 20 million people. Therefore, we are also waiting to mourn him. Please, let's bring back the remains of the president. And at the same time, let it be on their hearts to know you don't bury a father you don't bury a father outside his village. It may have happened with others, but I can guarantee you one day those bodies or remains will be exhumed and brought back to those countries, because we have seen it happen. We are asking that they bring the body. We are appealing to the president and the government of UPND to make sure that they do one thing: bend further. If the president is not needed at that funeral, and that was the wish of President Lungu, so let it be. Then we can deal with the other reconciliatory issues at a later stage. We have a people to consider.
Bishop Mwenda.
Former President Dr. Nevas Mumba has made a public appeal to the family, asking them to allow Mr. Lungu to be laid to rest in his homeland. In a Facebook post, Dr. Mumba described his appeal as a last gasp effort and wrote, "As a people, we have always resolved our national conflicts through dialogue as a Christian nation. It is still not too late for this issue to be resolved around the table. Please bring back the mortal remains of the president to the land of his birth, the land that gave him the privileged honor of being president, and the land he died fighting for." Before his death, Mr. Lungu had lost his presidential benefits after returning to active politics with plans to run again. However, the Constitutional Court barred him from contesting, ruling that he had already served 2 terms. Mr. Lungu and his supporters did not accept the ruling and hinted at pursuing other means to regain power. After leaving office, several of Mr. Lungu's family members state. During Mr. Lungu's time in power, then opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema was arrested several times. He once faced a treason charge and spent over 100 days in detention before being released following intervention by the Commonwealth General Secretary. Many Zambians had hoped that the two leaders would reconcile, but the events following Mr. Lungu's death suggest that this did not happen. These differences have denied millions of Zambians the chance to properly mourn and pay the last respect to former head of state. For now, it remains to be seen whether the Lungu family will change their decision and allow his burial in Zambia. Darius Jonya, Damo News.
You can watch the full program of Costa featuring Bishop Andrew Mwenda after this news bulletin. Now, President Hakainde Hichilema has held talks with South Africa's Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Ronald Ozi Lamola, at State House. In a post on his Facebook page, President Hichilema disclosed that Mr. Lamola conveyed heartfelt condolences from President Cyril Ramaphosa and the people of South Africa on the passing of former President Edgar Lungu. He said the two held a meaningful and respectful discussion regarding the burial of the late president, during which he reaffirmed his firm position that Mr. Lungu should be laid to rest in his homeland, the Republic of Zambia. President Hichilema also extended his sincere gratitude to the President of South Africa for the care provided to President Lungu during his period of illness. Additionally, he expressed his apologies to the South African National Defence Force for the unexpected challenges that occurred during the repatriation of the late president's remains on Wednesday, 18th June 2025.
Convey a message on behalf of President Cyril Ramaphosa, the President of the Republic of South Africa, on behalf of the people of South Africa, a message of condolences on the passing of the former President of Zambia, Dr. Lungu, who passed on in South Africa, and also to convey our message of solidarity to the people of Zambia, due to the fact that we've got very good historical relations with Zambia and its people. And we were also here to further engage on how to find a solution to the ongoing impasse or challenge with the Lungu family and the Zambian government. And we continue to send back the message to the President of South Africa in an endeavor to find an amicable solution on this matter. It remains our considered view that former President Lungu should be laid to rest in his own country of birth. But as we have engaged, we did raise that there is an impasse and there are issues that still needs to be addressed. And we remain hopeful that maybe an amicable solution will be found in the meantime.
lecturer at the Livingston Institution of Business and Engineering Studies has lost his life following an encounter with a stray hippopotamus in Mosiotunya National Park. Southern Division Police Commanding Officer Ogzensho Daka has disclosed that the incident involved a 37-year-old David Simutowe, a resident of Moorlight Compound, and that the attack occurred on June 19, 2025 at approximately 22 hours near Indeko Compound, which borders the national park. Details are that Mr. Simutowe had dinner with a neighbor, and after the neighbor left for home, Mr. Simutowe was attacked and dragged into the park. Police visited the accident roughly 20 meters from the victim's residence and discovered his body with injuries, including a large wound on his left arm with a fractured bone, as well as multiple head injuries consistent with a hippo attack.
The attack and subsequent killing of 37-year-old David Simutowe by a hippo in Livingston highlights an ending human-wildlife conflict. In October last year, a similar incident was reported within the same neighborhood. Some students from the institution the deceased was conducting lessons have expressed grief over his passing.
He was very jovial, open, and very understanding, and a bit of some comedy. We used to joke, crack jokes, we'd share the word of God, even if it was in a workshop.
But when we reached, we found that he was at home, and we knew that he was quite in pain with his condition, the way it was. But moreover, we had a good moment with him.
The Department of National Parks and Wildlife has continued appealing for security awareness in communities, especially those close to the national park, such as Moorlight.
We have talked about these matters before, but we will continue talking about it. We have elephants that normally cross the road from the park to the surrounding areas.
Although elephant states account for the highest kills so far, hippo attacks are becoming prominent, especially those around the sewer ponds in Zambezi ward. Gabriel Jasasmowa, Diamond News, Southern Zambia.
Now, despite contention between the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, and opposition political parties over the delay of a truck carrying ballot papers in the Lumezi constituency by-election, the verification process has been successfully conducted. Early in the morning, the ECZ and political parties were at a standoff during the verification of ballot papers after the parties argued that the ECZ had failed to communicate the arrival time of the truck transporting the ballots to Lumezi. However, after discussions with the political parties, the ECZ apologized for the communication lapse and proceeded with the verification. Our journalist Samuel Kwawe was at the Civic Center in Lumezi and brings us the details in this report.
We want a clarification. Is it you, ECZ, you received these ballot papers without the consent of stakeholders, or who was responsible to receive this track? Because us, we are many stakeholders in this election as political parties.
A tense start to the day in Lumezi constituency as political parties and the Electoral Commission of Zambia found themselves in a standoff over the verification of ballot papers for 26th June 2025 Thursday by-election.
So now the question is, why did the precedents prevail here? Where we as stakeholders should have been there upon the arrival of the truck. The job is yours, we know that, but just to witness and to be sure, just to avoid speculations.
However, after engagement, the ECZ apologized for the lapse in communication, paving the way for the verification to proceed.
There was no political party present when the truck came. It was just us and the police officers when it came.
So what made you prefer to get political parties?
This is where we are apologizing.
No, I think it's due omission to say, for there were those oversights, we apologize.
The truck was then opened and political parties verified the ballot papers, which were in conformity with the verification process which happened in Lusaka, and happiness was on all political parties.
To say the verification was well and everyone was represented from both the ruling and the other political parties, the opposition.
The confirmation is that the ballot boxes are there and we have seen it.
We have confirmed. So for the verification program, I feel everything was done in a correct way, except that in the beginning, we were not informed when the truck was arriving.
ECZ is happy.
The stakeholders came in. At some point, there was some miscommunication, but later on, I think the matter of the stakeholders were resolved and everything was verified, the ballot papers, the serial numbers, and as I'm speaking, this exercise has been done.
Later, the Electoral Commission of Zambia also held the Political Party Liaison Committee meeting where all parties attended and the message was sent.
As a commission, we don't claim that we know more than you do. No. I think it is through this platform that we should be able to also hear about our mistakes. And where we have gone wrong, we should be able to acknowledge that. And the whole idea is that, we want to enhance the electoral process through this, exchange.
The remaining 3 days will be crucial for you, all of you. Avoid violence, avoid hate speech, talk issues. Lumezi is too big, and Lumezi has too many issues to be resolved. Convince the people what you are going to do.
With the ballot papers now verified, all eyes remain on Lumezi as the by-election draws nearer. Samuel Sylvester Kwawe, Diamond News, Eastern Zambia.
Now, before we take our first set of commercials, let's take a look at our Diamond weather update. Welcome back. Now, traders operating along the Great North Road have voiced concern over health and business disruptions caused by dust from the ongoing construction of the Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway. Mary Makukula, a watermelon vendor in the area, says the heavy dust has led to increased cases of flu and other respiratory ailments among residents. She has appealed to contractors to regularly water the road to minimize dust levels. Ms. Makukula also expressed frustration at the slow pace of the project, saying it has driven away customers. Fewer people are stopping to buy because of the poor air quality and the general disruption, she said.
In a transformative step toward reshaping Zambia's road infrastructure, the long-awaited Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway is finally taking shape. The 327-kilometer stretch linking the capital to the Copper Belt promises safer travel, faster trade routes, and renewed investor confidence. With construction now visibly underway, government and private partners are describing the project as a turning point for national development. But while progress is being made, not everyone is celebrating. Some locals along the Great North Road are raising concerns about the dust being produced by the ongoing roadworks. Mary Makukula, a watermelon trader, says the dust has brought sickness to the community, with many people experiencing flu-like symptoms.
Road yabwera tyamikira batipangirako road katikapera congestion ingasire bachameti dandaulako chabe sembe batitirirako manzi ero road yakaina ili slow sembe bachitako fast business yatu yankala slow kambaka kuti bapanga slow road mamotoka yamayopa okoneka nkala congestion so sembe chopempa chatu chokuti bankaleko fast bazititirako na manzi dasi vimfine tafa pano mverako chabe sibatira manzi.
Aston Peary, another resident, has echoed similar concerns, pointing to the impact the dust and delays are having on everyday life.
Mvifua manje swai sibatira na manzi swai caring ngai manje even mwende area yonse ni mvifua vika just cause road ya mene kuli wakusa vokuja kuza vose kunatuzana ma dust maona road sisi da umonse kamba siza na contact out ni zasira na rit
nkaroda panga chemushe zizi batya madasti ezalipo chemushe chipa eze kuno ubeze kanjele madasti manzi watira madasti so che anyamuka chintemo.
While the Lusaka-Ndola dual carriageway is a sign of progress, locals are urging contractors and authorities to act swiftly, balancing development with the health and well-being of communities along the route. Rachel Mumba for Diamond News.
Now, some farmers in Mansa are still practicing Chitemene system, a traditional method that involves cutting and burning trees to prepare land despite the growing threats of climate change. Farmers cite affordability and lack of alternatives as reasons for continuing the practice, which has contributed to deforestation and environmental degradation. To counter this, the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR, is rolling out a community project in Mansa and Zambia. The initiative aims to raise awareness, build resilience, and promote sustainable farming practice as of climate change adaptation. Details in the following report.
As climate change continues to threaten livelihoods, some farmers in Luapula province still rely on Chitemene system, a traditional method involving tree cutting before cultivation, worsening deforestation and land degradation. Farmers cite affordability and limited alternatives as reasons for holding on to the practice.
Era kuti chamoneke chashupa kwa ifoko twingale ko kutema ifimuti kule ko kutema emyunda omulandi wakutira na ifwe motumwena kai fertilizer batupela yali chepa fertilizer nga yaisa pakimo mwalasa sango kwe bati pakwesha fa itwafa ne cooperative twalasa ndana bambi balesenda kalisaka kamo bambi kumagalo ninomba finga kwafu anga shibulimi.
In response, the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR, has launched a rural awareness campaign to promote sustainable farming and highlight the dangers of outdated methods.
Ngafintu twasambya mu JCTR umufundo wali onaula sana umushiri kanshi bashibuli minga babonfe umufundo walinga udi umushiri palepo tabalimine ukala pangiko umufundo wine pantu nishina peka nishite itali ukabula okulimapo.
Mansa and Zambia districts have been targeted for a 3-year project aimed at building resilience, encouraging eco-friendly practices, and reducing environmental harm.
So we thought we needed to intervene now to ensure that community members have the knowledge and also the capacity to preserve what we already have. We know we already have trees, we still have some water, so we need to intervene and find ways of ensuring that what we have we do not lose. It's better to prevent than to begin to cure.
Climate change that we don't get them infimity, chempanga. So now we na sanga vantu bale teme infimity, bale ocha kuchina wakanya pantu, nishtukarache pero mwera, nyero futi nemfrate chile roka, tatwakura kwata no busombo shubusuma.
Through education and empowerment, JCTR hopes to spark lasting change and nurture a generation of climate-conscious farmers. Kalombe Kapambwe, Diamond News.
Ballot papers for the much anticipated 2 award by-election have arrived in Sikongo district ahead of the voting day slated for 26 June 2025. District Electoral Officer has confirmed that the entire process, including the ongoing campaign period, has so far been peaceful and free of any violence or disturbances. Details in this report.
One after the other, sealed boxes of ballot papers were carefully verified at the Sikongo Town Council premises, marking a key step in preparations for the 2 award by-election in Sikongo District of Western Province, scheduled for the 26th of June 2025. The District Electoral Officer confirmed that both the delivery, verification, and campaign period processes have gone smoothly, with no incidents reported.
Preparations for the upcoming polls on 26th of June are ongoing, and I want to update you that we have received the ballot papers today, and before then we have been conducting a series of activities ahead of the polls. We have been training all the electoral staff. We have been briefing all the stakeholders, and the nomination went on successfully.
The Provincial Electoral Officer has emphasized the Commission's readiness for the by-election.
So that puts us in a more prepared position, as we have already undertaken other processes that include the training of the necessary poster. We have various engagements with political players that we are concluding on Thursday, so that everything is set for us. And generally, we are ready for 2 hour local government by-election.
Meanwhile, the political party representatives that were present had this to say.
I'm really appreciated because we were even worried about the system, about our symbol of the chair for the first time, which was not even shown, whereby today it has been shown in the ballot papers.
We are happy the way ECZ is handling this by-election here in Tuawati. From day 1 up to today, 22nd June 2025.
The 2 award by-election will be held on the 26th of June 2025, with only 2 candidates in the race, one from the New Congress Party and another from the United Party for National Development. Reporting for Diamond News in Sikongo District.
We take another set of commercials. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're tuned into the Diamond Newsdesk at 8. Now, Chingola Member of Parliament Chipoka Mulenga has refuted claims that the government has officially handed back Senseli mine to small-scale miners, commonly referred to as Jerabors. Speaking to Diamond News, Mr. Mulenga said his recent visit to the constituency aimed to harmonize tensions among small-scale miners who have threatened to protest, demanding full access to the mine. Senseli mine, located in Chingola district, has remained closed since 2023, following a tragic accident that claimed the lives of over 30 small-scale miners. Mr. Mulenga emphasized that the government has not reopened the mine and that safety concerns remain a top priority. Despite the closure, the Member of Parliament acknowledged that some youths continue to access the dump site in search of income.
The name Senseli mine carries a heavy weight in Chingola district. In 2023, tragedy struck when a fatal accident claimed the lives of over 30 small-scale miners, prompting a government-imposed closure. But for many, the closure didn't end their dependence on the mine. The small-scale miners have continued demanding for the government to give them full access to the mine. Yesterday, the youths threatened another protest, a situation that attracted the attention of Chingola Member of Parliament, Chipoka Mulenga.
I want to make it very clear, abundantly clear. I did not go there to say I'm allowing the operations there. Because our plan and vision is, in the years ahead of time, there should be no one working in those areas. So even my emphasis yesterday, if you saw, was that there is availability of working equipment and machinery. Every time people have been trying to say, these are Zambians who have got no access to capital, equipment, and everything. So as they work there, that's why you have got those deaths, because they work with conventional tools and other things. So my emphasis was that, can they work with equipment and machinery and other facilities? We have seen they've been working there in many times and other aspects. So as they work, we provide facilities like machinery, equipment, and other things so that they are working safely.
Meanwhile, a community movement based in Chingola and Chirabombwe has called for more employment opportunities as a way of ending illegal mining.
The so-called illegal miners also deserve a piece of the national cake. The best way forward is therefore to create an environment where they can partner with ACM in a free, safe and fair manner. They too are an essential part of the Zambian economy.
This critical issue underscores a larger problem: high youth unemployment on the Copper Belt province. Without formal opportunities, the attraction of informal mining, however dangerous, becomes irresistible. Rogan Lavikam for Damo News.
Entrepreneurs in Botondo and Wufuke wards of Mufulira districts have expressed significant frustration over unannounced changes to ZESCO power supply schedule, severely impacting their businesses. Matthews Chapenuka, a local welder, has reported that ZESCO had previously committed to supplying electricity from 05 hours to 14 hours. However, the company has unilaterally altered this schedule without prior notification, leaving local businesses scrambling. Joyce Mwitwa, who operates a salon, is urging both ZESCO and the government to reinstate the original power supply hours to allow her business to function effectively.
As the country Zambia continues to grapple with a severe electricity crisis, a direct consequence from the drought experienced during the 2023-2024 farming season. This power deficit has particularly crippled small and medium enterprises that rely entirely on electricity for their operations. Today, the frustration among business owners in Mfra district has reached a boiling point due to recent adjustments made to the electricity supply schedule by ZESCO. The challenge we have is power. It's affecting our businesses, such that we are failing to sell refrigerated goods, such as drinks or meat. We have a challenge with power. Like you have seen, we are still waiting for it. We do not have enough time to work with power. Sometimes we will wait the whole day without working. So, how then can we pay house rents or buy food? We are really suffering. At least if we can be having power from 06 hours to 18 hours, that can be better. The affected residents are appealing to ZESCO to revert to its previous schedule, which saw power restored for over 7 hours during the daytime, a crucial period for most businesses.
Our siblings are suffering because this is our only source of income. So it would have been better if the government had to put in place certain measures. For example, they say that electricity starts to come around 06 hours up to 18 hours.
It remains uncertain when full power restoration will be achieved, as the government continues to face an uphill battle in supplying sufficient electricity to meet the country's demands. Rogan Lavikam for Damo News, Copper Belt Province.
In Eastern Province, the fight against teenage pregnancies and child marriages is seeing remarkable progress. Chisosa Health Facility, serving over 5,500 people, has recorded a drastic drop in teenage pregnancies from an average of 70 cases per quarter to just 29. The reduction has been attributed to peer-led initiatives and traditional councillors' community active role in raising awareness. Young community peers like Harriet Ngoma, working with Plan International Zambia, are breaking cultural barriers by educating teens on sexual health and the importance of education. Our reporter Simon Kwawe brings us more in this report.
The fight against teenage pregnancies and child marriages has been a daunting task for the government and many organizations in Eastern Province. At Chisoso Health Facility in Petoke District, an average of 70 young girls between 10 and 24 accessed maternal services, a heartbreaking trend. But today, that number has dropped to just 29 thanks to the relentless efforts of young leaders and traditional councillors working with Plan International Zambia. We pay much attention on our messaging to young people in terms of information giving so that they can focus on education. Harriet Ngoma, a youth advocate, took action by rolling her sleeves to help fight the scourge. She is connecting, distributing reproductive health services and educating her peers, showing them a future beyond early motherhood.
We usually document the names of condoms. Then, when you document, we come to the facility and report.
For the health facility, numbers can tell a bigger story of the effective interventions.
So, if I compare like from last year, like 2024, first, second, third, fourth quarter, we could actually see or attend to 70 teenagers, adolescents, that's between 10 and 24, that's per quarter. Then with the introduction of planned programs and early marriages programs reduced to last quarter we had 29. So you can see from 70 to 29, that's a very big difference.
But change didn't come from peers alone. Traditional councillors like Esther Mwanza and Judith Perry stepped in to reshape cultural practices.
Zirangizi ngati mwana nena kutofuna alobe nganda tubapo tuona poperera.
When the girl has come of age and family wants to initiate the child, our group is always there to guide, focusing so much on dressing and hygiene rather than marriage matters.
Inaona kuti bana msinto ulipo chifukwa kuvuli huku bana nyinji upeze mwana 14 years anavuma.
Our group has seen change among girls because there are isolated cases of 14, 13 or 15-year-old girls getting pregnancies. Plan has really helped us. Children are now going to school. Dr. Dennis Lembani of Plan International Zambia says these collaborative efforts prove that when communities unite, health traditions can be overturned.
Using what we call, intergenerational dialogues, at community level, and also aspects of champions of change. People, girls also reach their full potential in the society. So this is quite good and satisfying. Contribution towards the reduction and also towards fighting the vices that perpetrate child marriages and teen pregnancies in the province.
Samuel Sylvester Kware, Diamond News, Eastern Zambia.
Jackson Chikonde, a student at Evelyn Hone College and part-time musician known as Jamaica Zed, told the Lusaka Magistrate Court that a toy gun found by police at his home was used solely as a prop in music videos. Chikonde is facing charges of trafficking in 43 sachets of cannabis and 13 bottles of codeine. This is his second drug-related case following a prior conviction involving the same arresting officer. His January arrest gained attention due to allegations that his videos incite law-breaking and mock law enforcement.
An Evelyn Hone College student, Jackson Chikonde, popularly known as Jamaica Zed, has told the Lusaka Magistrate Court that a toy gun police retrieved from his home was merely a prop for his music videos. This is in a matter where Chikonde stands charged with trafficking in narcotic drugs when the matter came up for his defense before Magistrate Crispin Hampungani. Mr. Chikonde testified that Drug Enforcement Commission DEC officers found only a toy gun in his two-roomed house, which he uses as a prop for his part-time music career. He told the court that the officers searched the entire house but found nothing else. He added that after the search, he was handcuffed, ordered to comply, and taken to the DEC offices where he was made to sign certain documents. He was later transferred to Ridgeway Police Post where he was detained for 2 weeks. The accused has further told the court that the officer who arrested him, identified as Mr. Banda, had previously arrested him on a similar offense. He testified that Mr. Banda had warned him he would come for him again following his earlier sentencing. During cross-examination, the accused denied being found in possession of drugs and refuted suggestions that his girlfriend was found in the house at the time of the search. He told court that he rents the apartment with assistance from his mother. When asked what else he does apart from music, his part-time career, the accused stated that he is a student at Evelyn Horn College. He also told the court that he was not beaten but was harassed during his arrest and that 170 kwacha was taken from him. At the time of his apprehension, he had been carrying 2 plastic bags of groceries. In the previous court session, Jackson Chikonde, 31-year-old, was found with a case to answer by Magistrate Crispin Hampungani, who ruled that a prima facie case had been established against him. The court previously held that he was arrested for trafficking 43 sachets of cannabis and 13 bottles of codeine. His arrest in January made headlines not for his music, but for the Drug Enforcement Commission statement accusing him of producing videos that allegedly incite law-breaking and mock law enforcement. The DEC stated on January 29th that his widely publicized music videos have been carrying content daring law enforcement agencies and inciting members of the public to engage in activities that are contrary to national laws. The accused, whose dreadlocks have since been cut while in remand, is expected to continue with his defense on the 26th of June 2025. Best Jere, Diamond News.
We take our last set of commercials. When we come back, we have sports news. Stay tuned. And in sports news tonight, FAS President Keith Mwemba is urging the Copper Queens to head into the 2025 CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON with unity, patriotism, and a determined mindset. During the official send-off at Tekla Hotel, Mwemba emphasized the importance of mental strength, preparation, and national pride. He is stressing that success will depend on collective discipline from both the players and the technical bench, warning against any form of confusion or negativity in camp. He further issued a stern directive against the agent interference, stating that all focus should remain on winning the tournament, not on personal deals or distractions. The Copper Queens will take on hosts Morocco in their first group stage game on 5th July 2025.
We have love amongst ourselves. We start loving each other. These players will start fighting for each other on the field of play. If Esther is playing 2, another player is playing number 2, she has been beaten, someone is going to cover. No one will say, oh, it's okay, it's not my position. If we are scored, the people will say, I'm not the one who has caused the has to be scored. Then the team is going to lose. I want players who are able to pass the ball to each other. It's not about personal glory here. This is something I've discussed with the coach, and I'm still here to discuss with her. If Barbara Banda has scored, or Rachel Kundananja has scored, or if it's Esther Sayafugu has scored, if it's Pasolo has scored, if it's Lucio Mwemba who has scored, the team has scored. If I'm not in a position to score, I'm able to pass the ball, the team has scored. It's not about personal glory. It's about now, it will be very painful to all of you including those who are not here, like Barbara Banda, captain. It will be very painful to go into retirement, you don't have silverware, and you start reflecting backwards that you had the golden opportunity to actually win something for the nation. It will be very painful. This is a very good team. I know a good team. If you are not good enough, I was going to tell you, say, no, we have a lot of work to do, but this team, it's entirely up to us to organize technical bench, unite, listen to the head coach, support the head coach, and let the players do their job on the field of play. If this team plays as one unit, as one team, they play together, it's not about personal glory, it's about the team. I can assure you, you will see the population of Zambia, the people that will come to the airport there. When the WAFCON finishes, we are coming with the trophy there, and you will see the welcome we are going to receive. I don't need to remind you, some of you were young girls in 2012, but this is a footballing nation. Some of you remember what happened when we just won the AFCON. We want that moment again, so that afterwards, then you can also put more pressure on the Chipolopolo boys in December. Many words, do not fill a basket. We love you all. You have our blessings. Go in peace. We shall join you at the right time, and we are coming to win. Go champions, go!
That's all I had for you on the Diamond News Desk at 8. Stay tuned for Costa coming up next at 21:15 hours. My name is Thokozile Malawi. Pleasant viewing.